Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we have a house divided campaign event for you. However, because of the Memorial Day weekend, this will just be for fun, so it won't affect the campaign in any way, shape, or form. You're seeing an overview of both maps right now. The first map being Cox Push, you'll love to see that. And then our second map is Reno Falls, another great and interesting match to watch. And with that being said, on the Union, we have Union 2nd Corps, which consists of the Irish Volunteer Brigade, the 28th Maine, and the 5th U.S. On top of that, we have the 3rd New Jersey, 30th Ohio, 1st U.S. Sharpshooters, 2nd U.S. Rifles, 10th United States, 42nd Pennsylvania, 7th Massachusetts, 20th New York, 17th Michigan, and the Old Guard. Whereas on the Confederacy, we have Pickett's Brigade, 24th Georgia, 13th Georgia, 2nd Mississippi, 125th Pennsylvania, the Sussex Brigade, which is 5th North Carolina, 5th Florida, and the 1st Maryland. We have the Andersons Brigade and the 1st Delaware. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the battle. Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have an awesome Cox's Push map for you. I'm glad we're seeing this map more and more throughout regimental gameplay because we don't see it too often, and frankly I just love this map. It's a beautiful wide open map. You don't see it too often played, and I just love to see it. So right now it's Memorial Day weekend. We have a lot of regiments here. Surprisingly, despite it being Memorial Day weekend, it's fine. I was expecting a lot less, and I'm very happy that there's more. So, the Union game plan for Cox Push is they usually got to rush and be aggressive and take that corner. Otherwise, Confederate artillery will whip. They'll whip the Union, essentially. So, it looks like we do have a bulk of that Confederate force moving to that corner. The reason why the Union need to take this is because if the Union take this corner here, the Confederates have nowhere to go. They might be able to hold over here, but it's not a good defensive position. They basically have no good defensive positions here. Literally, all the Confederate team is moving to that corner. It should not be a surprise to the Union that they are doing that. We have some Confederate skirmishers here, looks like from the 5th North Carolina, moving up here, probably to take some shots at the Union while they're rising up here, coming up to the top. Surprisingly, the Union is moving very far right. We usually don't see the Union move this far right. We usually see the Union sprint up to those logs that you can see in the middle of our screen here. Get your bayonets and reloads while they're regaining stamina. Because, you know, running up that hill or just moving takes a lot of stamina. And as we can see, Union pushing far right. Those skirmishers not going to be able to do much. Looks like we have the 10th U.S. Major Riley leading out this push. Some Confederates holding in the middle there. I'm going to quickly lower some of my graphics here. Very, very intense. I don't want any lagging happen here, which would be a shame. That's how you change your settings if you didn't know how to do that. And with that being said, 10th U.S. holding up on this far right here. Let's see who's pushing up, being aggressive. Looks like we have the AP, some of 2nd USR. Literally everyone from the Union is just mashing up into this rock here. Looks like the Union's kind of disorganized. Actually, Union's still pushing up, though. Union's probably right in there organized and then charge across the field. They need to be aggressive. However, I would suggest probably going for that middle stone wall that you can see. That's cutting across the map here. Union, though, charging. 10th U.S. is leading that charge. A lot of the Confederates taking their shots early, maybe getting 1 or 2 kills here. However, they're able to get the reloads, and as you can see, Union falling down, taking a lot of skirmishing and on the line. Is this reinforced? Yes, it is. The Union charge is very, very spread out. Oh my goodness, the lag. Yeah, Union's going to get slaughtered here. I doubt the Union's going to be able to win, at least on this push. Confederates have a nice half stone wall here, and they got a full stone wall there. Look, you still have Union trickling in. It's probably been about 30 seconds since the start of the charge, and yet the Union are still trickling in. Confederates coming off that middle wall now, reinforcing this position here. Thankfully, the Union has more tickets, though, so they can attempt this attack again. Looks like we have some IVB, 17th Michigan IC, and 42nd Pennsylvania still alive here. Some of 10th U.S. and 3rd New Jersey. Just everyone's here from the Union. Got remnants of everyone. Just these are really going to be skirmishing out of line. This is going to be bigger for the Union here to knock out some of the Confederate forces. I apologize for the drops, like where everyone freezes for a moment. Probably just a Wi-Fi issue. With that being said, the Confederates are able to hold, except who do we have here? We have OG, Gomer, Kyle going off against T. What? You just... My guy just fell through planet Earth. As you can hear from Doug himself, that was beautiful. That's what the Confederates need to do on this map. They just cannot lose that position. Actually, does Confederates have anyone on artillery? Because it looks like we still have some skirmishers here. More like one. Those Confederate respawns moving in. It looks like we do have a couple Confederates on artillery. Let's see who do we have here. Looks like we have Provost from the Pickett's Brigade with a couple of his men, and the 5th North Carolina here as well. We got about 2 artillery pieces going off right now. Like, look at this position that the Confederates have. Usually in this game, the artillery just sucks. Like, the positioning, they're in the woods or whatever. However, on this map, just look how open it is. If Confederates can do good with their artillery, they will be able to do much. They should be loaded. They should be ready. Union should hopefully be pushing up a little quicker now. These Confederates that are out of line and in skirmishing, like, if Union just pushes and takes out these guys, that would be huge. I mean, that's probably a couple skirmishing, a couple out of line. That'd be huge. Union beginning to move out their push. Who do we have holding up here? It looks like we have the 2nd USR and the 42nd Pennsylvania. Probably just shooting down the Confederacy, taking some shots while they're waiting for the rest of the Union to show up. Union not in the bulge, though. It looks like we have AP, the 20th Maine, and the 5th U.S. holding at this rock area here.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going.
20th New York. Some there. We have the OG, the Old Guard here. 4th U.S., 7th Mass, and the 3rd U.S. There's a lot of Union regiments on tonight, if you could tell. It looks like we have 30th Ohio and the 10th U.S. and some of 5th U.S. here as well. And you got some IVB as well. Check the Confederate positions while we wait for the Union to come down. We have the Pickett's Brigade and the 2nd Mississippi holding on the Confederate left. No one really here in the middle. You have 13th Georgia and the Rebel 2nd Corps. 24th Georgia holding here as well. And on the extreme right, you have Sussy Brigade, except without 1st Maryland. And then we have I Corps holding at the far Confederate right.
Don't stand. Don't stand.
And we have Haunts here leading the 1st Delaware. It looks like Union's beginning to push up here. What do we got here? We have 42nd PA and looks like 17th Michigan leading this leftern prong. You have more Union. Look how far they are apart, though. You can't have that in these type of situations. We have another prog. I'm guessing the 10th U.S. and the OG is over here with the 30th Ohio. Here we go, boys. This is probably the best bet. Union's holding up way in the back there. I don't know why. They're leaving the 30th Ohio and the 10th U.S. to get slaughtered here. They're going to be defeated in detail. Looks like we have IVB pushing in as well. They're so spread out, though. Does that other prong begin to push? No, they're still just holding that known wall. Union going down to engage here with 37 minutes left. Not very good. Union charge on the right fails horrendously. However, Union does take this stone wall, allowing them to take shots. However, Confederates can get very nice flanking shots on the Union. They just need to shoot right down the stone wall here, and they're going to get some confirmed kills. That's a fact, Jack. Looks like those 5th North Carolinian rebel skirmishers pushed back a little bit. Union able to take those rocks and left. Skirmishers engaging. And this is where the Confederate artillery can become deadly for the Union. All of these guys are standing here. They're in formation. Artillery can get a nice shot and get some kills there. Usually artillery isn't too effective. However, on a map like this, it can be very, very effective. Where'd that artillery shot go? Where'd it go? What the artillery doing? Anyways, they missed there. Probably trying to figure out where they need to aim. Probably take some time. Confederates still holding this corner. Like, this is the Confederate game plan to win this game. Hold the corner. Don't let Union take it, and you'll win. Union needs to cap the point right now, because if they cap the point, it'll force the Confederates to be aggressive, knocking down both sides and giving the Union an opportunity to catch up on tickets. And speaking of which, it looks like we have the 7th Mass pushing up to start taking the point there. While I do like their idea, they're all alone. They're going to get wiped. This is going to be skirmishing and out of line for the Union, which isn't necessary. Actually, they might. Union actually is getting a couple Confederate out of lines, which is very, very good. However, 7th Mass able to come up on top. What will our boy Suppy do? He's been hit. He will sit here, continuing to cap the point, while we have another Confederate approaching in, and he dies. Looks like we have more Confederates coming in. Looks like 20th New York and the 2nd USR is beginning to push up. Has anything else happened on the right side here? Not really. 42nd PA is still holding this position. We have Hood leading his men in the battle. Artillery shot, I don't know where, but Confederates moving in to clear the point. Never mind. 1st Maryland is here. Zapstar leading his men into victory. They're gonna completely wipe this Union group. All of Sussy is here. 1st Maryland's here. Sussy is complete. These Union guys, Russians got to pull off here. He is pulling off, trying to avoid that on a line. More Union coming in. I don't know what the heck the Union's doing here. It doesn't make any sense from what I see. They're just taking unnecessary casualties here. 42nd PA actually came in as well. Maybe that was more organized than I thought. Union's trying to take the point. However, it's very, very, very disorganized. Now we have more Union coming in. This probably was a planned charge. However, in disarray, looks like, who do we got charging here? We have the 10th U.S. now coming in. They're going to be slamming into the 1st Delaware and Sussy Brigade. Actually, just Sussy Brigade. 1st Delaware is basically in Sussy at this point. I think Union's going to be able to win this charge. However, will a Confederate reinforce? Mince, come over here to help the Union. I don't think so, and I think Union's going to be able to cap the point here. Confederates now going down to engage. Perfect timing there for the Union. So now instead of a 20 or so minute cap, the cap now goes to 12 minutes instead. So Union's continuing their push across this field here. I don't know why. They need to just sit back, cap the point, and then force the Confederates to come out, and you could take a lot of damage. However, I don't know what they're thinking right now, so we'll see what they do to plan this out. However, I think they should cap point. You have Union holding at this corner here. They could do some nice flanking shots. This charge is destined to be failed, though. There's so many Confederates here. Confederates pulling out, taking some shots in the open there. Yeah, that charge just failed. Union needs to cap the point. They just missed a huge opportunity to cap the point and force the Confederates to come out. So we have Clay in here from the IVV holding. Will he get Legion? No. Legion gets killed by tank, though. He's still alive. They don't see it, and he finally goes down. Union, however, they're still capping the point. More Union pulling in. Union doing what they need. This is the Union, what they need to do. Cap the point. Cause the ticket percentages to go back equal. That's a big thing. Just stay, guys, go to point, please. Go to point. Sir, please stay. Cap the point. Cap the point. Cap the point. Do it. Just do it. Get the... No, the point's uncapping. Those 5th North Carolinians, led by C. Murphy here, pouring in, clearing the point. Union's not going to be able to cap that. Confederates do not want the Union to cap. Union, that group that just fell back is now pushing in again, however, with more Union this time. So, Union's going to be able to wipe this. However, will they stay on point? Confederate artillery getting a couple kills there. Not a lot to really deter the charge, though. More Union approaching from the right side here. We'll see. Confederates now reinforcing. Looks like they have the 24th Georgia pouring in here as well. Confederates have more bodies on point. However, Union, more men are coming in. Union going down to taking losses now. An intense. Kneel it. That body just went flying to the bottom there. Look at this. Is crazy. Look at the scale of this. Like, absolutely insane. Charges happening on all fronts. Confederates rushing in. Confederates are going to hold that point. However, we could see that more Union here are pulling from the right side. However, Union's kind of in the open here. They're kind of spread out. Confederates continuing the push here. If I were the Confederates right now, I would almost let the Union cap the point. That's just my opinion, though. because then you could be aggressive, possibly flip the point, cause the Union to go in the last stand. But Confederates don't really even need to do that right now. They're doing so well. Union has a lower percentage of tickets. Confederates are just doing that well on this map so far. It's, as we have seen with these higher populated servers, is that it's very, very hard to take entrenched positions anymore. For example, we have 30th Ohio moving up here, but what I was saying is that Roulette Lane used to be a very CSA biased map. However, with the more players on it now, that favor has gone towards the Union, because it's harder to break a line with more men, because more men are shooting at you, or your men are falling and whatnot, so it's very hard. Again, Dunker Church was more of a fair map, but over time it's become more CSA biased because the Confederates now with 300 or 150 men can guard that whole road, and Union can't really breach. They got to hit everything at one place, and even then the whole Confederate line can just shift over there. It's very, very hard to play as the attackers on certain maps with these bigger population servers. Yeah, that's that. Let's see what's happening here. Union, we have some men holding here. Who's holding over here?
Is that a friendly
guy right there?
Nope.
He's not a friendly, no, you are correct. I think they're shooting at that guy now. Looks like we have some AP holding here. They're getting shot by whoever is here. Some 5th North Carolina guys, Henry and Toxic, getting some nice shots there, killing some skirmishing. One in formation, one skirmishing. Looks like we have Jerry going to rejoin his men. Looks like we have 30th Ohio, part of the IBB here as well. Who do we have pulling up here? We have the 42nd Pennsylvania going to reinforce with the rest of the Union. 17th Michigan that we can see. 2nd USR. Yeah, it's really all. 10th US has got to be around here somewhere. We have 7th Mass and the Old Guard pushing as well. Union need to do one big push together. They cannot be doing these. This is really, Union hasn't done one big organized charge yet, which is why I think the Confederates have been able to. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's insane. That artillery is good on that. That probably got like 2 or 4 kills. However, if you, yeah, 2 or 4 kills, keep it up the whole time. That probably would be worth it. Possibly in the wrong one. I don't know how many kills these Confederates are getting shooting when they're this far and Union having a stonewall. These Confederates might be getting some nice shots. I don't know about these ones though, because they gotta barely shoot over this nice stonewall. Let's see. Union still trickling in from spawn here. There are a lot of Union groups that we could see. It can be very, very hard to coordinate with this many Union regiments, but it can be done. It must be done, or else the Union is going to lose this map. Looks like we have the 2nd Corps holding there. The Union line really holding on this nice long position. Very beautiful to see on big servers. Confederates holding the corners they can, as we can see. Union should have capped the point a while ago. I think that would have been effective to forcing the Confederacy out, getting some kills. Looks like we have some Union skirmishers out here. That's the 10th US holding way up top there. I think Union's plan right now is to just try to shoot the Confederates down for the next 26 3/4 of a minute. I do not know what the 10th US is doing up there. They're kind of far away. They're pushing forward now. These guys are kind of far. The 7th Mass and some of IBB. That's really just 7th Mass is just holding. These guys are kind of far back to get a lot of kills. I mean, 7th Mass could be shooting at those guys. Those are very hard shots. Those are somewhat hard shots. So, but however, we have the 10th US. I see some Old Guard in there as well. I did a couple of Old Guard 3rd, New Jersey and 50 US pushing up here. I wonder if they're planning to cap the point or possibly just charge these guys out. Get some nice skirmishing on aligned us here. We'll see what they will be doing in a moment. And they will be charging these guys out. Good shot there by Henry, getting a kill. This 5th North Carolina group, they're falling back. However, some of them aren't falling away. I would have stayed and fought if I were these guys, because they just took 3 out of lines so far. That's 15 tickets, now 20. They could have stayed and fought and maybe got a couple skirmishing and a couple information deaths. That would have been better than 20 out of line tickets. I can't think of the math. Maybe 1 information 2 skirmishing, that's 7. Probably would have been the same, actually. However, they could have killed some more Union, so there's that as well. Some of the 2nd Corps here and the OG trying to push forward. However, the Confederate Horde is beginning their assault. 10th U.S. falling back to reinforce their friendlies here. Confederate trying to thwart them. However, they're so spread out, though. Zapstar going down. Union pulling back a little. They're going to get some nice shots. Confederates taking a lot of skirmishing and out of line deaths here, which is very unnecessary at this point in the game. More Confederates pulling into this position now. Union, I don't know why they aren't on the Stonewall. Confederates going down and taking losses now. That's why. They ran out. They took a lot of skirmishing out. This would be an opportunity for the Union to charge. Union going down the breaking, however. So Confederates still keeping up the pace. Union could charge because the Confederates pulled out. However, equal forces are over here. Artillery getting 2 kills there, maybe. Sir does not have a bayonet on, but he gets a kill. That's probably out of line, too. He gets 2 kills. My man North. Oh, he goes down. That's a shame. You got some out of line kills, though. Very, very, very cool. Union really just... We can get an overview here. Looks like you have some daring Confederates. Let's see who these men are. The Union's about to go down the final push, though. Looks like we have the 125th Pennsylvania. Scoins taking his men, being very, very aggressive. I kind of like the idea there's not a lot of Union over here. However, if the Union do come back over here, they'll take in skirmishing and on line in skirmishing. They'll take skirmishing and on line deaths, which will be unnecessary. However, there's not a lot of Union over there, so they're fine for now. I think the Union game plan is to shoot the Confederates down to breaking. You have 23 minutes. I don't know why you wouldn't want to take the point, because Confederates could easily flip at the last stand. So Union, they have 23 minutes to shoot them down. I think it's possible. It'll be hard, but it's possible. However, artillery shot getting... I don't have corpses on. It's a lot of blood for a couple men. Looks like we have the 10th U.S. beginning to start an assault here. Confederates, though, the 5th North Carolina, 1st Maryland, they're going to be able to hold this position, though, before the Union can get there. Union are going to get caught in the open. More Union pouring in. Union are going to get slaughtered here. Confederates ready. They've done this too many times. We have 20th New York, 42nd PA. Basically the whole Union pushing into this. So I think they outnumber the Confederates. They do. Are any more Confederates pouring in? Yes. Confederates seem to be pushing a decent portion of their team. Union's in no position to countercharge that. Union's got to be able to take this and reform before the rest of the Confederates pour in. Union could actually win this next part of the charge. They have more men. If these men on top of the hill pour in, which they are, Confederate artillery hitting nobody, despite being very close, probably suppress the heck out of some boys. 5th Florida and there's some 5th Florida here. 24th Georgia forming a decent line to hold this Union charge. Union beginning to charge in here. Union might actually be able to win. The Union's going to be able to win this. If this knocks the Confederates, more Confederates pouring in, however, it looks like I Corps, 13th Georgia, 2nd Mississippi. I'm guessing Pickett's Brigade. You got a Legion there pushing in with men's. Confederates are not going to be able to hold this position. Union, that was probably an attempt by the Union to knock the Confederates down the breaking and take the point. However, we're not going to see that right now. Almost got 20 minutes left essentially in this match. We're almost halfway done. Confederates doing what they need to do. Union taking out of... Union's taking out of lines right now. In the confusion. Some Union going in, some Union going out. Nice shot, Neil. Get a potato. I don't know. Oh, potato misses unless he was shooting at someone else. A little lagging there. but those are out of lines. Potato getting another kill. Confederate artillery almost TKing their men. Thankfully getting no kills on their end. Union kind of reforming here, getting some pop shots. We have the 7th, really just a mix of people. I should really just start saying a mix of people instead of trying to point out 4 different regiments that are in this thing. But we do have Hood telling his men to fall back. Probably the right thing to do because you're taking skirmishing in our lines there. I will be very shocked if the Union pull a win here. Confederates just doing a heck of a job, though. They held their position. I mean, Confederates are doing what they need to do. Union hasn't done one big bunched-up charge. As we've seen over here, the Union charged from 2 prongs. The first time, they were just so spread out. The second time they did it, 1 prong charged, the other prong stopped. Every assault we've seen over here, their regiments have stayed together. Like the 42nd PA is with the 42nd PA. The 10th US is with the 10th US. However, they're so spread out on these charges that it's allowing the Confederates to form nice lines like they are on point right now. And just hold the positions. Confederate artillery getting 4 or so kills. How much artillery was that? That was a beautiful shot. And that's the point of artillery. This is probably one of the few good artillery maps. That was only, I think that was both their guns. They're both reloading right now. My guess is that was both guns. Still, Confederate artillery is effective. Never mind, that was only 1 gun who shot that thing. Second shot hits you. I don't think that actually... I can't tell. I wasn't here. I should have been here. That flag needs to be picked up. I don't know why it hasn't been picked up since I left, unless it just got killed again, which would be funny. Thank you, Polly Summer to-do list. A brave man picking up that flag. Flags on this map for the Union should not necessarily be with the line. Especially with that Confederate artillery. Because look where the Union flags are. They're smack dab in the middle of their line. Confederate artillery can be like, oh, just aim at the flags, we'll shoot, we'll kill, it's great. We'll probably see that happen soon. Let's see where Union again reforming looks like on this. Look at that. Confederate artillery getting easy shots, Union not moving. The way Union win is early on they need to either take that corner or tap the point. Union was unable to do that. They still had opportunities to charge, but the Confederates have just been able to hold. So it looks like the fragmented push. The 10th US leading this push. We have OG in here as well. They are holding up here on the rocks. It looks like, here we go, the 30th Ohio IVB and the 42nd PA, 1st U.S. Sharpshooters and the 2nd USR, they're all pushing into this group here. This last group here is shooting, maybe to keep these guys here, distract them, you know. Like, oh, if we all pull off, then this group will take the corner. Maybe we'll see. However, Union's begun this, but just look how spread out this is. Like, Union going down the final push here. We only have 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. Kind of crazy here. However, it is what it is. We have about 3 minutes and 5 seconds left. Confederates, Union charged at a perfect time because now they'll have enough time to get bayonets and reloads or go. Yeah, they only have really one good charge, and then they got to sprint everyone. However, Union seems to be winning right now. Those Union guys pulling in. Confederates in the back, skirmishing. This is hurtful. The Union are going to be able to beat this out with their reinforcements. However, I don't know if Union will be able to beat that group out. I think Union... I don't know. It's kind of tight. Actually, it's getting very, very close. Union guys from Maine should just grug and go. Confederates going down to breaking. Good timing there by the Union. Very intense here. Confederates still have more bodies on point. I think you can cap point all down this rock thing. More Confederates pouring in from their spawn. And that's a huge thing too. Confederates are going to get their respawns here way quicker than the Union is ever going to get their men, because they got to run up a big hill and then run all the way down. It drains your stamina. It's very, very, very bad for the Union here. It just looks like you have some remnants of the Confederacy left. More Confederates pouring in at this moment. Looks like we have 5th North Carolina and the 5th Florida pulling in to reinforce. Union appears to be trickling in. Are they grugging and going? They have a bayonet there. Yep, looks like bayonets and going. They're pushing. You have some Confederate skirmishers up here. Confederates aren't going to go in the last stand unless they lose out of lines and skirmishing, which is very possible on a charge like these men out here. Could easily cause skirmishing and online. However, they'll probably distract some of the Union. Yeah, you got a couple of them stabbing, slowing them down. Not by that much, though. You have basically half the Confederate team is here right now. More of those Confederates are going to be pouring in by the second. We have a minute left in our round here. As here, this is the last stand by the Confederacy. Not really last stand because they're probably going to win this, but we'll see here. Anything can happen. For all I know, Confederates could shoot on point and kill all their men. Confederates getting a lot of shots. Like even though the Union has a lot of men, they're very spread out, which is understandable, right? You got to be quick here. Men spawn in at different times, but just the overwhelming Confederate force is going to dominate everything that you can win. Union still trickling in on their way in. They're going to get killed. Look at all the bodies. Confederates counter pushing. A smart play by the Confederates. They're trying to keep the Union off the point so Union can't cause an overtime. When this clock up on top of the screen here hits 0, if there are more Union on point than the Confederates, it'll trigger an overtime. And Union could win if the Confederates go to last stand. However, Confederates charge off point. Union can't even get a chance. I don't think Union would have gotten a chance in the first place. And there we go. A little interesting thing there. But, yeah, that was a very well done by the Confederates. They did what they needed to do. That was essentially what this meant. Confederates held the corner in force. Union had one semi-good charge. They made 2. One at the beginning of the game where they did that 2-pronged, very spread out though. And the one we saw, I think the second to last Union charge here. But right now, you're getting an overview. You can see the casualties and all that. Like, look at right now. Union's taking an insane amount of out of lines compared to the Confederates. Confederates staying all together, not taking out of lines on this map, is pivotal. Because as if you don't know, out of line is 5 deaths, 5 tickets for your team if you die. Information is 1. Like, that's insane. Union took, it looks like almost double the amount of out of line as Confederates. Really going to ramp up in this last minute here. But that's the Confederate game plan. That's what they need to do. Union just need to be more grouped up. They need to charge bigger and together. And that's really all Union had to do, I think. And they might have had a chance. But yeah, with that being said, we'll see you guys in the second round. Hello, everybody. Here we are with our second round, Zapstar. So Reno's Fall is our second map. Look at that. We have the Confederates here forming up, getting their full kits, getting ready to go, coming off of a major win on Cox's push, doing their job. However, will they be able to attack? We will see. We have seen that the Confederates have won this map a lot. Generally, from what I've seen, if the Union can't do, I don't know. We'll see if the Union can do well in the corn. The past couple times I've played this map, if Union try to hold in the corn, it doesn't end well because Confederates can come up on the right side here and flank you through the corn. They can come through the woods. They have open access to the point to easily cap. Whereas the Union, they got to come out of corn and come into a very, very, very exposed position. However, we'll see. You never know. War rights matches always go different sometimes than the strategy. You never know with these things. So, 43 minutes. Maybe we'll see who win this. With that being said, let's get this other way. Looks like we have the 20th New York holding here on the stones, taking some shots at what appears to be a Confederate group. The 5th NC leading this left-turn prong. Looks like we have a right prong here split up into 2 parts. 24th Georgia Pearl leading the right prong. And then looks like we have Knit of the for I-Corps leading the right-left prong. If you want to call it that. Oh, crap. I can't go out of bounds. I can't go out of bounds. That'd be a shame. Hood now holding up with the 20th New York, probably getting an overview here. You could see the Confederate prong. Look at that. We do have Union going to try to hold the Confederates here. We have the 2nd U.S. Looks like the RES. No, that's 42nd PA. I got to look on the right side. And then the 17th Michigan. Yeah, so 42nd PA, 17th Michigan, and the 2nd U.S. are holding the left side. Let's see who we have in the corn here. Looks like the 10th U.S. and part of the AP is moving into the woods to reinforce. 30th Ohio holding here with the IVB and the 7th Mass. Union just hoping 2 prongs. 20th New York looks like they have fallen back here. Confederates are on the snake fence here in front of the point. Confederates are about to engage in the woods here, though. First couple shots. I don't know if the Union's really hitting anything, though, because Confederates are just showing up. They shot a lot of 1 man. They got a man. I stand corrected. And 20th New York, you're appearing to shoot shots. That was a dumb thing. Guys, the Confederates are shooting in a Civil War game. No way. Looks like we have the I Corps and the Pickett's Brigade with the 65th Illinois coming in to reinforce this position. More guys pulling in from the 13th Georgia. It looks like they're just going to be fighting the Union. This is the Union playbook, just have this shooting competition for 40 minutes. Union will do fine. Confederates need to be aggressive at some point. We have the 2nd Mississippi and the 125th PA holding in between the stone wall and the snake fence. And then it looks like, I'm guessing, Sussy Brigade. We saw 5th North Carolina pulling up here earlier. Looks like they will be spear charging the push on the left. It looks like Union is forming a skirmishing position here to respond to this Confederate push. The 10th U.S. holding this position here, rising, waiting for the Confederates to crest. I hope they don't shoot right now. Actually, no, they got good shots. 10th U.S. holding fire, smartly done, waiting for the Confederates to come up. Confederates reforming here, waiting to do anything. Nothing is happening on that side, still just shoot out. Sussy Brigade is going to continue their flank, pushing up. 10th U.S. responding to this by pushing further forward here. And it looks like Sussy Brigade is going to now be charging into the Union position. Tenth U.S. taking their shots, and they appear to be pulling off. However, now they're going to be taking skirmishing and out-of-line deaths. Actually, they aren't taking that many, I stand correct. Maybe 1 or 2. But they're going to be able to get back to that corn with relatively minimal casualties. Sussy Brigade, not that spread out. A lot of them still in this middle clump. 10th U.S. reforming with the 7th Mass. 30th Ohio moving in to reinforce the 10th U.S. here as our first major charge happens on this map of the charge. Still a shootout happening over there. I just wanted to check. And it looks like the U.S. forces, well done there by the 10th U.S., getting their shots, minimizing casualties, returning, and it looks like they're going to be able to hold the Confederate assault. You have remnants of Sussy with the 1st Delaware holding here as Union's going to get some good out-of-line and skirmishing deaths. Good hold by the Union. Let's quickly go to the other side here to see if the Confederates will try to push up on the right prong. And speaking of which, perfect timing. There we go. Both sides moving in. Union just routing. I'm intrigued to why this happened. It appears they're falling back to what they think is more formidable positions. Behind the log, the Confederates still going to be able to pour in here and overwhelm the Union force that's here. 42nd PA is going to get wiped. 2nd USR now coming in. However, there's not that many of them compared to this huge Confederate force. Union's piecemealing into this fight. They just need to hold on the snake fence or hold on the stone wall. I don't think charging in group by group, because now you're going to be taking a lot of skirmishing and out of line. And I won't be surprised to see the Union go down to engage within the next couple minutes after this charge. Still a lot of Confederates in the woods. Union's just pouring men in now, and the Union's going to be able to overwhelm them. I wonder how ticket effective this was. We'll see in the long run. Actually, maybe charging them out was a smart thing. Knock them off a secure position, because the Confederates could just run up to you in the corn now. In a sense, I get that. 10th U.S. finishing off the Confederates at the log. They're going to continue their push, hit these last couple of guys. Confederates are actually capping the point right now. Confederates appear to be slowly falling back. And as you can see, we have a Confederate here. My man Mobes is capping point. These Confederates are not on point. This one man is capping point. And he's pulling off right now. So, that being said, Union not going down to engage yet. Confederates almost capping the point. Get him. Come on. Nice shot, Neil. Beautiful kill. Union will be able to hold, not go down to engage. We'll probably be waiting here a moment before we see anything major. Sussy Brigade. Look at that. Union I wouldn't say they overreacted. They did overreact. They sent all their men to that flank now. Their right flank is exposed. I don't think Sussy Brigade knows that, however. So, we'll see how long it takes for the Union to move back to their original positions before Sussy can get a beautiful flank on them. Because it looks like you have a Confederate scouting out there on the bottom, pushing forward, making sure the coast is clear before they move in. Yeah, looks like a lot of Confederate respawns. Begin to move in. Union pushing farther forward into the woods. I wonder if they're going to do that. They're going after those Strambos. Regardless, oh, is he picking up the flag? The flag bearer is picking up the flag. Well done, Mr. Flag Bearer. I love your name. I love your name. That's fantastic. That is an iconic man right there. Union holding up in this corn. They're probably going to send... 30th Ohio is probably going to return to their original position on the right. Sussy now beginning to push forward here. I think they still have time to get there. I think... Sussy's going to get there before the Union does. And the Confederates are beginning their push on the left side. We'll try to get there as quickly as we can. Union taking their shots. It looks like they're going to actually try to hold that. Sussy Brigade getting firm positions right at the 30th Ohio arrives. However, 30th Ohio is able to get... No one's shooting. 30th Ohio is able to get those shots off first. The Sussy Brigade didn't see them coming. I don't know. Union just needs to hold on the snake fence. Confederates need to hold on their side. There's going to be a lot of pop shots here. I can't tell who's going to win this portion. A lot of Confederates falling. Union's going to win this. Let's check back over here on this charge. A lot of Confederates are going to overwhelm this Union force here. Confederates charging from both sides. 2nd Mississippi. Confederates going down to engage. I'm in shock. I was not expecting that. I am surprised. Union's going to get wiped over here, however. I won't be surprised if the Union go down to engage in a moment. 10th U.S. and 7th Mass reinforcing the 30th U.S. pushing off the Confederates. However, Union do go down to engage. I am shocked that the Union is keeping... Union is able to knock the Confederates down to engage first. Especially because Union was charging in here, getting a lot of skirmishing out of line. However, Sussy Brigade did get wiped on the right side. So, maybe it's not a surprise at all that happened. Confederates waiting. They won the charge. However, it seemed they're waiting. We have both Cephas here now leading the Pickett's Brigade, Legion by his side. Probably just scouting out this position to see where is the Union. Let's see what both these have to say. There we go. 24th and the PB now pushing forward. They could see the Union coming to the south-southeast, and indeed they are. They're slowly trickling in. They're going to get independent fire. Union's going to have this ninth position. 42nd PA. I'm guessing the 2nd USR is coming in at, well... Yep, there's some 2nd USR, 17th Michigan. Union's going to try to charge out the Confederates here. An unwise decision. However, I shouldn't say unwise, right? They don't want to lose this left flank. This left flank is critical. However, the way they did it was poor. They're a little spread out. You have this other group coming in now. A little late by the 2nd USR. It's 20th Maine. They might actually be able to push off the Confederates, though. It is actually quite close. Union's going to be able to push off the Confederates. IVB's in here as well. OG as well. I'm surprised. I am terrible at making predictions. We see this time and time again. Union actually is going to keep pursuing the Confederates, trying to get some out of lines and skirmishing deaths here. Yeah, Union was very spread out there. Confederates were bunched. Union just outplayed. Union's clearly mad about last round. We have the 5th North Carolina now coming in on the flank. Gonna get some skirmishing and on the line deaths. Smart play by the 5th North Carolina. It looks like they're going to keep... They're going to start a new spearhead here. A lot of fighting still happening. Union getting some unnecessary out of lines here. Nobody on the other side of the map right now. 5th North Carolina pulling off. They're just cleaning up what Union forces charged. Yeah. Looks like... I'm guessing Confederates are just going to focus on this point. It looks like Sussy Brigade. They were respawned first because they all died earlier. They're now over here. It looks like Sussy Brigade is now going to start a spearhead into the Union left. Never mind, they're pulling back. Maybe they're waiting for their friendlies. I don't know. They're pulling back there. Union artillery fighting in. Looks like we have the 30th Ohio and some of 5th U.S. and 20th Maine holding here. However, the bulk of the Union force is in the woods. Maybe Sussy Brigade is waiting for their friendlies and they're going to do a massive push, or they're going to return to their original positions and try to push up the Union right, Confederate left. It appears that's what they're going to do. I'm kind of surprised if both of these Confederate prongs charged at the same time, I think that would give the Confederates the best chance to take something. Because as we've seen, the Sussy Brigade charged at first, and they got obliterated by the 10th U.S. and Company. Then this prong charged, and although they were winning at first, because the Union fell back, the Union reinforcements was able to come in, wipe them out, and repel the Confederates. The Sussy Brigade then, after the right charge failed, they pulled up and got wiped by 30th Ohio and Company. And then this prong came in, and they seemed to be winning at first. However, Union numbers were just able to wipe them from the field. And shockingly, Union is down by 17 men right now. Which is even more crazy than the fact that Confederates hit engage first, now that I think about it. Yeah, a lot of Union holding here. Who's demoted?
I'm always wondering if your flag was dropped. How can I do that? Downloaded. I'm always quick to pick up the flag before anybody else.
I am guessing that's polymath there. Seen him demoted a couple times in matches. Maybe that's the team over the regimental. Interesting. Regardless, Sussy Brigade appears to be reforming here. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, if you're demoted, you can't pick up the flag. And demoted means that you are demoted by 15% of your team. So, Union has how much here? 140? Whatever 140, 15% of 140 is. That's how many downvotes you have to have. But yeah, that just means you can only go private. You can still talk in game and everything. You just can't go officer, flag, and all of that. So it's a shame. Confederates now beginning a spearhead by the 24th Georgia into the Union. Pearl getting shot down here. Confederates, again, doing what the Union did last round. We'll see if they win. I should just stop making predictions. The Sussy Brigade is not pushing. They're pulling back. We'll see who wins on this side of the front. It looks like Union... I should really not say anything. Anytime I say someone's going to win, they lose. So, according to that, Union's going to lose this. Hood is telling his men to get out of their bunkered positions. or just the men that are back here. It looks like some of the Union Second Corps are pushing in. Union's actually going to be able to, looks like, withstand this charge. They have more men. I got something right for once. Thank goodness. However, there's also Confederates sitting back. If all those Confederates charged in, I think they would have won. There's about, the Confederates seem to have a little more men here. I don't know why they're sitting back and shooting. What's happening on the other side here? Who's holding this corner? Looks like the 5th North Carolina, 2nd Mississippi, and 5th Florida. Confederates going down to taking losses here. Monumental for the Union. What do we have holding here on the Confederate left? Looks like the 125th PA is going to be going on the right side. Confederates seem to be focusing their measures on this position. Union's going to be able to get more respawns here. Looks like we have Malloy here scouting out for the Union. However, Confederates are all bunching up now, getting ready to charge. It looks like they're going to be getting that motion now as the Union is still trying to get men in for the spawn. It might be a little late, though. The 10th U.S. and the 30th Ohio now pushing in to the Union positions. Here comes Sussy Brigade leading this charge. Unfortunately, out of bounds is right there. That's a great area, though. Look at this insanity. Intense combat by both sides. Union pouring in. Union actually countercharging over here. Union wiped that first charge. They're going to keep countercharging. More Confederates pouring into this position. It's not going to be enough. Union's going to be able to push it back. And the fact that Union is still outnumbered by 20 people. This is insane. For, like, a 20-man imbalance on a defensive map is usually a death sentence for the defenders. Union being pissed off at what happened last round are like, who cares? We're going to win. I wonder if that's what happened last round, too, is if there was a difference in the manpower. I didn't look. I should have looked. I apologize. I think that had probably to do with something Union not being able to break the Confederates. Ferd and Webb getting some nice kills here. Jojo goes down. We have Boyd. Boyd gets shots. Webb gets killed. I can't tell if the Confederates CK'd their own man or Webb got the kill. I don't know, but regardless, we have some Union skirmishers up here taking some shots. This is unnecessary right now. You guys are playing a beautiful game right now. Outnumbered by 20, and you're playing beautiful. You cannot take out of line and skirmishing deaths now. It is absolutely critical. We have some Union holding on point here. 5th U.S. guy and a guy from the Old Guard. Probably just skirmishing, scouting out this position to let their comrades know what's going to happen. 7th Mass and the 20th New York is holding in the corn, making sure they're ready. And it looks like we have the Union 2nd Corps holding here on the logs. And 42nd PA holding here. So Union going to taking losses. Confederates, even though they're behind, there's still 24 minutes left. Plenty of time for the Union to go down to breaking and take that point. I wonder how much more aggressive the Confederates will be. And speaking of which, here they go. It looks like we have the 1st Delaware moving in to push these men off point. They do. It looks like, I wonder what they're going to be doing here. Probably starting to pre-cap point so that they could take it. However, a lot of Union holding here. 30th Ohio, 7th Math, 20th New York holding here. We have the 10th U.S. beginning to charge out these Confederates. And 1st Delaware pulls back. Except for a boy, volunteer Don Kuha, who's going to get killed by Scribbles. Scribbles. Kill him. Scribbles! No! Scribbles! No! He's able to get away. Probably his men told him to fall back. And a good man listening to orders, not pursuing the enemy. I was out of that. 10th U.S. now really just taking pockets. I think Confederates cannot bulge the Union line right now. Union outnumbered a little more of a 35 downvotes. Holy cow. Yeah, Confederates, despite being a 15 to 20 man difference, they cannot break through the Union line. That is a compliment to the Union. We basically have a full server here, which is insane to think about. Actually, there's not any unlisted players, so that's a good thing. That means there's no auto balance issues as it appears. Union probably just brought less men to Cord, which happens. It is what it is, and Union is just saying, who cares that we brought less men? We're going to win this round. And they're doing that. However, this isn't Union win yet. Like I said, there's 22 minutes. Union will probably go down to breaking at some point, and the Confederates could easily make a fight for more. However, Union could probably hold. They've held the whole game, so I'm guessing we're going to continue to see that. This is a repeat of last round, but flipped. And as we can see, more players, better defense and charges. Also, I think the Confederates just did poor planning. I mean, both sides charged together. They were more together than the Union was last round. However, if the two prongs charged at the same time, they probably would have had more success. Let's see what the Confederates are thinking of right now. It appears the Confederates are just holding back. They're going to shoot the Union down, trying to get them down to breaking, and then probably move in, or maybe knock the Union down the last stand. But I don't know, because hitting shots from this far in reasonable cover is very, very, very hard. This is the defender's game plan. In any map, the attackers, if they sit back and shoot, they'll lose. However, or rather, it's to the more favor the Confederates. What I mean by that is if they do it the whole round. If the attacking team sits back and shoots, which the Confederates have not been doing that, and I'm not saying they're going to lose because they've sat back and shot the whole time. They've been aggressive. They've been good. Good for them. This is still a close game. It can go either way. Let's check out the Union defensive position. I'm guessing 42nd PA. 17th Michigan is holding on, and 2nd USR is holding here. On the left, Hood getting a little ambitious here, pushing forward. I wonder why he's pushing forward. Looks like they're just pushing forward to get some better positions. I mean, Union's knocking Confederates down more than they are knocking them down, so I'm not going to complain. Normally, if defenders are down, this might be a bad idea because Confederates could bunch up and charge you out and then cause you to lose this left position. We have IBB holding here in the center. Who do we have over here? 20th New York appear to be shifting left. 7th Mass. Where is the 30th Ohio? '30th Ohio and the 30th Ohio doing 30th Ohio things. They're being aggressive too. They're just trying. I think the Union's just trying to play a little more aggressive, and because they know they're ahead percentage. That is not what you want right now. The Union left is now exposed. Confederates can push up, easily flank the group that is here. I get why they were probably wanting to be a little more aggressive to knock the Confederates down the final push. I'm intrigued to what the process was behind that. However, Confederates now taking advantage of the fact that the Union got wiped. 30th Ohio now really far away. We have a couple of Union groups remaining here. The 7th Mass and the 10th U.S. They need to hold this line here. Unions, both sides. I don't know if they'll go to breaking, at least in this charge, but definitely the next charge. So this is critical. You can capture point from this stoneway, which is huge. This Confederate prong now pouring into the Union position. Union respawns need to get up. 7th Mass getting a nice position on that snake fence. A lot of Confederates, though. I just thought I saw a body flying. Union now coming in from spawn. Going to be able to... Union needs to hold here and not go down the breaking first. Union, yeah. Maybe that was part of the plan. Maybe they wanted to draw the Confederates out That body went flying. Confederates going down the breaking. Maybe that was the game plan. They're like, hey, we held the whole time. Let's charge the Confederates, make them think they have an opportunity to charge us, draw them out, knock them down the final push before we can do anything. I think that, I don't know if it was by accident or not, but that's essentially what happened here. Union now charging really deep, getting out of lines and stuff, which, so be it. More Union coming in from spawn. Union's going to be able to hold this. A lot of Confederates are spread out, though. I think Union's going to be able to... Wow. Union going down the breaking. This is still... Again, Union is still ahead. Confederates are going to probably get final push before the Union goes into last stand. However, I don't know... For those of you who don't know, once the attacking team hits final push, they have enough time to go from spawn to point 2 times. That does not include your bayonets or reloads, from my understanding. So... And if Union hits last stand, maybe like 15 seconds after last stand starts, I think Confederates will... This leans towards the Confederates. Union just needs to sit back, not take out of lines and skirmishing deaths, and just hold the line. And don't let Confederates take point. However, this will be interesting to see. Union able to hold, though. Union's doing what they've done the whole game. They are outnumbered by 20 again. And Union's still able to hold that corner position to fight everything. Flag bearer. What a sad moment there for Beaver. My boy Beaver reached out to a Confederate in need and paid the ultimate price for it. Beaver surprise. I mean, they still the Union got a line there. That's a 5-to-1 ratio. That's still good. Flag bearer getting killed. Guy with the best name ever. Unfortunately, wasn't at the flag though, so not so cool. However, Confederates pushing up onto this road. They are beginning to cap the point right now. Point is uncapped completely. Union starting to engage. This is going to get... We have some Confederates on that middle point there. However, Confederates capping. Union is going to need to charge in soon with their whole team. They can't be spread out. 42nd PA and the 20th New York beginning to move in. 2nd USR is now pushing in. This is it. Union's very spread out. However, don't let that change anything. We've seen the Union win charges that I said they would lose. So let's just watch the beauty of War of Rights commence. First Union wave actually doing a pretty decent job here. However, yeah, there's more Union pouring in on the way. The Union, I think, is going to be able to hold. However, the point is about to be fully capped, and that's going to be the game. Actually, it's counterattack. A little interesting glitch there at the end. I wonder, that's weird. That's been more of a newer thing where they it freezes from one. But yeah, Union was outnumbered by 20. It does make a big difference when you're outnumbered by 20. I think that's why the Confederates are able to cap the point at the end. However, morally though, or not morally, in the terms of morale, that was 100% a Union victory. Union was outnumbered by 15 to 20 most of that game, and they held every single charge that the Confederates threw at them. Well done. It's just, yeah, Confederates. This isn't to say the Confederates did anything bad. Confederates were good. They were being aggressive. They knocked both sides down. They're taking losses with, what, 24, 25 minutes left, which is huge. Plenty of time to knock them in the breaking and whatnot. So, well done by Confederates. Really, it was just a great match overall by everybody. That's really all I can say for this match. Well done by both sides. Really fun to watch. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the post-game interview. Here we are with our post-game interview from the Union tonight. We have Jcorace from the IVB, and then we have Oliford the 3rd and Johnson from the 30th Ohio. And then from the CSA, we have Bus from the 1st Delaware. We We have Zapstar from the 1st Maryland, McPhail from the 5th Florida, C. Murphy and Doug from the 5th North Carolina, and Pearl from the 24th Georgia. We're just going to be asking some questions about strategy. I have some other questions too, and then if conversation goes from there, it goes from there. With that being said, to our Union players tonight, what was your strategy going into the first round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Going in, it was so it started off with a full team charge on the right and I believe on the center. But to be completely honest, one of the units wasn't in there, and I don't forget even which one in the
AP
team chat.
if main
I
wasn't
mean,
in the team chat to start, and they kept getting slaughtered apparently a few times, and that was rough.
I didn't want to name any names, but yeah,
They deserve it. Their
They
fault.
must be shamed.
It's embarrassing.
well, either way, the Union team in general, guys, kind of felt a little disheveled. 30th tried its best to support the team whenever it was charging. At some points, holding the wall. I was just handling Steam comms. It was one of my NCOs, Brattle, who was leading that one. Or no, it was George. Yeah, Brattle was the next one. George was leading that one. So the minutia of it, I don't really know. Just yeah, it was a little confusing because there was a lot of talking in the Steam chat.
Yeah, I can imagine you guys had a lot of regiments on Union. It was like I'd go up to a group of like 10 people and see 4 different regiments in it.
Well, it was mostly Hood going, "Hey, who's that unit on the left? Hey, IVB, is that you? IVB, is that you? Where's 10th? Where's 10th? Okay, 10th is over there. 30th, are you okay? Yeah, we're in the corn. Okay, wait, who's that on the left?" And it was just like poor Hood getting
The
more
whole
and more,
first round.
yeah, more and more frustrated.
I could kind of see that from an overview because whenever you guys would charge, it would be very, very spread out, and people would slowly trickle in. Like, yeah, I think that was essentially all of Union charges that I saw is just very spread out. What was the deal with that? Was it just poor communication? Did some people go before others? What was that?
Yeah, the first round, it was poor communication. Also, so much talking in the Steam chat was a little hard for us to actually coordinate.
And if I
There you
may
go.
butt in, Eagle, if
Yeah,
that's okay.
go right ahead.
All right. From the CSA side, when the Union charged, it looked like a gigantic blue wave coming in on our coastal offenses, right? And legit, it appeared to be this massive wave about to overtake our positions. But you, with the eagle's eye view, pardon the pun there, you can see how they were spread out. But from us, we saw wave after wave of Union infantry advancing upon us. And let me tell you, it was intimidating, and it was glorious. That's all I have.
Yeah, I can imagine some great views. Also, final question I had for the Union for the first round is at the beginning, you guys tried to get the corner you tried to get the corner next to the corn. That's the normal Union strategy. However, as the match went on, you guys started to hit the Confederate right. Why was there a change in that plan?
I would say more or less just based on the CSA position that we were witnessing kind of near the end of the match where, as you guys know, it was all go to the left, go to the left, go to the left. But then it was like, oh, they're on the right. They're by point. So then it was like, go to the right, go to the right, go to the right. But yeah, just because of the miscommunication, I don't really know if that message came across or not.
And I apologize because I remembered another thing. When it was, I think it was maybe engage, you guys could have capped point. You were very close to capping. Instead, some of you guys kept charging into the Confederate corn. Were you guys not meant to cap at that point, or were you trying to cap and then miscommunication?
Miscommunication again, because yeah, we definitely should have capped at that moment.
I kept on hearing it go back and forth, and I wasn't quite sure what the deal was. I thought at one point, I think I know what you're talking about, and I think the 30th was, at one point we charged the unit on the left, and 30th was one of the ones who was there, and we decided to go further into the corn, because I looked to my right, and I saw more Union coming down the hill, but I guess they stopped at the wall, and then I told George, the guy who was COing for us, that, hey, we're going to get help, and we decided to go into the corn.
Yeah, that makes sense from your point of view.
That corner does dictate the map for the most part.
very true. With that being said, we'll move to the CSA now. CSA, what was your strategy going into the first round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Oh man. All right. Well, no, the age-old strategy of Cox's push is to hold the left. Hold in the corn, and then hold that wall, which is what we did. That was the initial strategy, and we did it. They all mass charged down the left pretty quickly. We had a good force to hold in front of them, and then there were quite a few of us that fanned out onto the right and just kind of shot into them and wiped them out. And we held, and then they started going right, which caught us off guard. And quite a few times, it's a straight on lane, right? So all you do is shift right and left. So that's what we did. We would shift right to meet them, and they'd put up a good fight, but we would just have the better of them because we spawned closer. We just wouldn't let them get any ground. That was just kind of how we responded.
All
At
right.
least from my perspective. Yeah.
Any other Confederates have anything to say about that?
I just say there was a few times I think where our left was a little bit weak and they could have maybe pushed our left, like down their right, taking the corn, but I don't know. It would have been hard to do because they would have had to get organized and make the push.
There was never a point where they could have won on the first match. We were too good. Delaware, not anybody else. I'm just being honest, man. Every time we played, we didn't do much, but every time we did something, it was crucial. And we stayed back.
Go ahead.
We just did nothing. That was the whole.
What I will say, as Maryland was formed up to the right of 5th NC for the majority of the first map, watching as the blue wave came over the top and came towards us, my men were in a state of panic as they witnessed the mighty charge of the Union.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was fucking nuts. And lads, let me tell you, there were so many points where it appeared like we would lose that charge.
Then,
and I had to sit there and just keep shouting at my men, keep fighting, you bastards, keep fighting.
He says that from our perspective. Zap and I were moving together, and we were kind of charged with the middle right flank, so we would shift over.
I saw that.
We would shift over to meet them, and then we would literally have like the head of like 100+ guys hitting just us. And we were yelling to shoot.
I'd see you guys. I'd be sitting back in the back by those rocks on the far right, and I saw you guys get wiped like 3 times. And you guys it's over, we lost. I'm like, no, it's not. It's okay. It's okay.
No, one of my guys started playing that Sabaton song where it's like the Soviets holding on a fucking hill. It's hold your ground. Right? They started playing that. We were fucking holding the fucking line.
That's what
gentlemen, to the Union, I will tip my glass and say, lads, that was a glorious charge for all involved, both the CSA and Union. And I acknowledge your performance there. You did well. We held it, but barely. You had it.
I'll give you guys not a tip on the hat, but a scratch and sniff of my balls.
Thank you? Question mark?
It's an honor. It's where I come from. It's an honor.
All right.
Yeah, Pearl, is there something you want to say?
Yeah, I would say from a leading standpoint, from 24th perspective, PB and 13th aren't here, but basically we had it lined up where it's PB on the left, 13th, 24th, 5th Florida, 5th NC in Maryland. And whenever they did flex to the right, Maryland and 5th NC, the way everyone took each other's spots going over the lines, that was really beautiful. And we just kind of kept just plugging in for each other.
It's like Mississippi was in there too.
They were. And the 24th, I do want to say, gentlemen, while we're being recorded, the 24th is an outstanding fucking regiment. And Maryland will fight by the side any day of the week. These lads fight hard, they push hard, they're organized, and my God, I've been nothing but impressed by the 24th Georgia. That's a shout out. Good to see you, lads.
I appreciate it, likewise.
But what do you want to say when you're not being recorded?
When I'm not being recorded, I'll say, 24th, I love you.
Nah, you
We got 'em.
Right.
I don't know Pearl. I don't know his regiment really. I've fought alongside them time and time again, and what I will say is just I've developed this long-standing love for them. Because
hell
when
yeah.
Maryland gets charged out and we're fighting our 24th reacts and they reinforce our positions and we do the very same. We are great together and it's good to see you 24th and Pearl whenever we're in the field.
Hell yeah.
They bring the numbers.
Yeah, we get a
They
little
bring
crack.
the glory and we bring the slaughter.
Hell yeah.
And I bring the wins because I do the good, important stuff.
For the Hans!
Yes, exactly.
We're about to hear some
All right,
Hans
sorry.
talking.
Don't mean to
again.
interrupt.
Oh, you're good. Hans is
I
having a
can't.
stroke.
I can't do it. My voice is too fucked.
So yeah, we'll move on to the second round now. A very well fought match by both sides. Very fun to watch, especially with the Union being outnumbered by 20 and basically holding the whole game. So, except for the very, very end there. With that being said, Union, what was your strategy going into the second round, and how did you react to the ever-changing battlefield?
Pretty much along that corn fence. Since we had the corn this time, what we were doing was 42nd and 7th Mass were on the left and center left, and this with 7th Mass being on the corn. Then 10th and 30th were on the right, with 30th being the center right and the 10th being on the right. And basically what happened, so the regiments on the extreme left and right pretty much acted as anchors, and the two regiments in the center would freely shift between the left and right flank as needed. Sometimes we were able to actually redeploy all three companies to one side very quickly. And it really helped out during the charges, there was a surprising amount of charges. And it was weird that we were ahead for as long as we were because, I know Reno's to be a map where the Union kind of gets dicked for tickets, but we seem to be fighting them out in close range and contending with them the entire time.
Yeah, I would agree. I was very shocked that you guys were able to stay ahead that whole game. I was like, yeah, it was just surprising. Any other Union ones say anything?
Yeah, pretty much from the IVB's perspective. At the very beginning of the second round, we got a little disorganized. So half my guys were with like the 30th Ohio and the groups in the middle on the corn fence. But once we reorganized, yeah, we were pretty much an anchor right there on the left side. And every time CSA kept coming to the woods, we would be there to meet them in the initial charge. So that was pretty exciting. The guys really, really liked that. And yeah, it was definitely a much more better communicated, more well thought round than the first map.
Mm-hmm. It was
Everyone's in the
definitely
Steam chat.
Yeah, it was definitely to make up for the last round.
All right, sweet. With that being said, we'll move into the CSA now. What was your strategy going into the second round, and what was your reaction to the ever-changing battlefield?
So essentially, the strat was to put Delaware at the center of everything, and have them win it. And so to do that, we launched a group up the left, and it was just Sussy going to the left. We charged up left like 3 times. And then on the right side, I think it was basically everyone else, and then 2nd Mississippi was in the center. So it was sort of like not even a 3-pronged assault because 2nd Mississippi was just kind of on the fence unless they were shifting somewhere. But essentially it was just shoot them down and charge them out. Mostly charge them out. And to be honest, it wasn't working that much, but it's a pretty easy map for the CSA, especially whenever we outnumber them by like 20. So they put up a hell of a fight to get rid of it. But most of it was relying on pushing them off. And then the ending was just capture the wall and win it. And of course, First Delaware was crucial in winning that match because we're way too good, and I'm a genius.
Standing there scratching their balls.
Johnson, you've met your match.
Yeah,
Scratch is this sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to comment on the CC?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could comment
yeah,
on
go
the
ahead.
right side because we were on the right push the whole time, and I would say the right side was just outplayed most of the fight. I never liked our positioning. I never felt like we were getting kills in between charges. Just steady tickets or anything, and pretty much all damage we did was charge, and we were outplayed until the end when they charged us before we wrapped around. I don't really know why they charged us, but it was kind of the gift that we needed on that right side.
I wanted to mention about that is I saw them start to push forward there, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're pushing forward, maybe they're trying to be a little more aggressive, knock the Confederates down the final push. I look away to the right side, I look back, and they charged, and I was lost. I'm like, what the heck? But then you guys countercharged as you should, and then Union wiped you. So maybe I was like, maybe Union were trying to let you.
They didn't wipe us.
Yeah, that's a different charge.
We wrapped all the way. We wiped them, wrapped all the way to the backside of the corn. We got behind.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He's talking about almost the end, basically.
Yep, when they went breaking.
When we were massing up on the stone wall, and then 24th Georgia was in the woods.
Right.
Yeah. It was just
About what we
Confederates charged after Union lost, and then Union was able to come in and kind of push them off. But obviously, you guys held the middle area there. They didn't completely push you off, let's just say.
Oh no, I think we finally did get wiped, but we made it all the way into the corn from the
Yeah,
right.
we pushed far. We pushed up the
Yeah.
wall.
Oh no, you didn't get wiped because Delaware was still there.
I
We were winning
All
the
right.
whole thing.
I just wondered
Constant reinforcement.
for a moment. I thought Union was like get wiped on purpose to drag you guys out. So instead of having this long shootout where Union goes to
That would be
breaking and then you
interesting.
guys charge in, because Union was holding and winning every single charge, so maybe we're like, hey, let's purposely make them charge us because they think they have the advantage, wipe them, knock them to final push. I don't know.
Well, because we were about to charge, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, what was up
Charge
with that
to
trap?
And then
What
they
was that trap?
Well, hold on though. Hold on. Let me say this for our CSA side. We initially broke it off so that Sussy Brigade would push the left, and I said this about everyone knows with these high cap servers that it typically favors the defenders, right? Being able to hold such small ground with a lot of people, it's kind of hard to charge sometimes, right? Unless it's one force, which we didn't do. So good on you guys for holding that in the corn. But the game really flipped when we just stopped pushing far left and focused on the center and the right. I noticed that's kind of when the tide kind of shifted our way.
Yeah, definitely.
You know whose idea that was?
It was
It was mine.
It was yeah. We'll say it was Buzz.
So from Union's point of view, we didn't really even notice a difference once you guys started attacking left. That just means we shifted over. But at the end though, it was pretty much. And this is where Hans is getting his wiener big. He was the one company that wasn't being charged at the end, and he I think was the one company that kept them off of kept us off of overtime. Unless
I didn't even see where
I
they
mean, yeah, we
were.
were.
Yeah,
we were.
they
all
were
on
they
that
were
line,
they were
yeah.
sitting behind that rock on the right where the point just ends.
Yeah, everyone was at the cap line, but we were still the winners. It doesn't matter if you guys were at the cap line. We still did it. Even if it's not true, even if he says it and the recording shows differently, it doesn't matter because if we weren't there, we would have lost.
I actually won by a lot.
So,
But we didn't lose. We merely failed to win.
Mm-hmm.
boss,
Mm.
I'll challenge you to a duel any day.
Duel? Okay. I'll never use the pistol. Better at melee.
No, melee duel. We'll do this.
Okay.
I'm undefeated.
Pistols at dawn?
Did I destroy you? I'm way
He'll
too
destroy me, hear that, boys?
I'll literally use a grug on you, and I'd still win.
He's gonna rub his balls on you.
Zapstar, do you always grug?
No, bayonet.
I stay grug.
No bayonet.
I bayonet or I charge the saber.
Okay.
And worst
'Cause
case, worst case, Heaven
I'm,
forbid I'm given a Lamat revolver because the enemy is dead. But if you give me a Lamat revolver, I'll do God's work.
There's multiple times in the event today where I decided to not go in with the bayonet and take off my bayonet and go into the charge because I'm a genius. So what's a good
Or
idea?
right strats. The
Listen,
enemy wouldn't expect it. It would be in shock.
when you're in a charge, right, and you're coming in, say you're like the second wave of people, so the charge is already happening. Your grug is way faster, not way faster, but significantly faster than your bayonet is. So I just go over bonking people on the head, and most of them are already stabbed. So they're just dying. I'm getting like 6 kills. And meanwhile, y'all are just dead because you got a bayonet.
Because they got bayonet.
Yeah. But I'm like over there absolutely little wiping motherfuckers because I'm way
Boss,
too.
I love you, mate. I fucking love you.
They gotta nerf me.
Well, they've
Right,
already
when the
nerfed
bus
the first taunts. Don't worry.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they already did. Dude.
So in all these scenarios, you're usually the last one to go in, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, he is.
Second one. That's not true. I'm always on your ass, Murphy. There are like multiple times where I was like, Delaware's with you, and you didn't even mention that we were there.
Nah, he's behind first mallet. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's just so many of us.
Shout out to 30th Ohio Corn Chaplain. Man was giving prayers the whole time.
Really? What
Yeah.
a fucking hero!
Yes.
What a fucking
I know.
goddamn hero!
He has a channel in the Discord completely dedicated to him and his prayers that he pulls out every once in a while.
Listen, what else?
Your soul's ascended.
Union.
Does he like pray
You
over the dead
fucking
bodies?
did fantastic tonight. It was an honor to fight against you, and I hope that you don't take tonight as a loss because honestly, it was a fucking pleasure.
I honestly counted as a 1-1. It was so damn good.
Yeah, yeah.
I
that
agree.
was-
I counted
Thank you.
2-0, but it was still good.
Thank you very much.
I think we still won. So I counted 2 over me.
We all win.
Thank you,
just gotta-
narrators.
Everybody
Yeah,
gets a
terrible.
trophy.
At the end of the day, gentlemen, they can all agree. If our lads have fun, that's what matters. We fought a challenging event. A challenging event for both sides. And our lads had fun. I hope the Union did as well.
Yeah.
Preach, sister.
Are you ever Zap?
Boss, I will fucking strangle you.
I'm just
I will
saying.
fuck-
Just telling you to preach. Just telling you to
Not
preach.
in a fetish way, mate.
Zap, I got a question for you, Zap.
Go ahead, mate. I'm here.
Well, while you're leading your boys, do you ever go around saying, "Stanley, that's not how the story goes, Stanley"?
Oh my god,
No,
yes.
no, I don't. No, I don't. Wait, do I sound like I have never played?
The
this
you
game.
kinda-
narrator Stanley
you kinda
Cosmo?
do.
Never
Kinda
played.
do.
Is that a real thing? Lads,
That guy's
like, tell
older.
me.
That guy, no, you don't sound like him at all. That guy has like a way older sounding voice.
Stanley, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah, there we go. I clearly
Gentlemen,
told you
all I
that you
wanna,
went to the
like-
left goal.
All I want to round it out is lads, Maryland had fun fighting against you, and I don't want to speak for my allies. You know, we got 5th Florida, we got 5th NC here, and we've got 24. But what I will say,
Not you, Delaware. So.
Honestly, yeah, fuck you. No, but honestly,
boss, you've already said enough, and by that I mean I love you.
that doesn't.
but-
Well, the thing is like I don't care if my guys have fun. So as long as I have fun, it's important. I don't ever sacrifice my own fun for their fun.
But they have fun with you, boss.
Yeah, because it's a cult of personality. They follow me in the haunts.
Boss, what do you think Maryland is?
Yeah, that's true. You have Scott's though. You have Scott's, and he says fellas in a funny way. So,
I don't know
you
what the
guys-
fucking. I've never said that
No.
word, fellas.
No, Scott says. it.
Oh,
He goes,
okay.
Fellas, I'm gay. Stuff like that.
He doesn't
Oh.
say that in the channel. I think because he
Oh.
fears me. But
Oh,
I have one more. I have one more
What
question for the
What the hell?
CSA
Go ahead,
for the
go
second round. And so, were you guys planning to have your prongs? So, what I mean prong, like the left prong is Sussy, the right prong is everyone else. Sussy would attack at once. The charge would fail. Then the right prong would charge in and fail. Like the moment
That
the
was
left
just
charge-
the right.
Bro,
wrong,
that was so
right?
stupid, bro. The right was so slow. Like, what the fuck?
Were you guys supposed to charge at the same time?
Each time.
Yeah, we were
Yes.
supposed to go
We
each
never
at the
did.
same time, but we don't. It was tough to tell even like what the point.
No excuses. No excuses, dude.
Yeah,
boss, I will not hear you talk. I will not hear you talk shit about
I mean,
24th. I will challenge you to a duel for
They're
your
good.
honor.
we didn't really know how far away they were and what they were hitting because it didn't feel like we were hitting the same thing at all.
Yeah.
We weren't.
Dude, I was so pissed. I was
From-
like, bro.
Because
Oh, man.
Union was able to easily like they stopped the left prong, then they would shift men to help on the right, and then they would shift back to the
That's what I'm
left.
saying.
I knew
though.
it. I knew that
30th
was what
was running
happening.
around that
I
entire
knew that was
time.
happening.
When you
3
have
times
so
we
many
failed on the
men,
left.
when you have so many men, on that little lane to defend. Like the Union don't have to go that far on that map. They have that corn fence to the corner, and then that little bit in the woods if they want to go to. They have like 100+ guys to spread out and reinforce on those ends.
Yeah.
So if we charged piecemeal like we did, left and right, and they were shifting over just to wipe out one, wipe out the other. We were trying to coordinate it better, but they got the better.
Dude, yeah.
I think it would have
was
been
well
better if
played.
we were middle left or middle right.
Yeah.
And that's what I
So,
mean. Yeah, that's
yeah.
why we kind of started shifting over to the middle, just trying to push down middle and right. We only got to do it once, but when we did it, it was
won.
good.
The whole time, Doug was like, "Are you guys ready to charge? Y'all ready to charge?" And then everyone would be like, I think we're going. I think we're going."
No,
And it's-
no. Maryland said immediately.
No, not you. I'm talking
Maryland
about everybody that
stands
was
ready.
outside of Sussy. I was like, "Oh, we're going, I think." I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
'cause-
Well, what I will say, gentlemen, is that first of all, if anyone challenged 24th Georgia's honor going forward, I will meet.
Do
them
it,
in the
do
field.
it, Bus. I want to see you do
I
it.
just challenged their honor. I never said that they were bad.
Boss, I swear to God, I will
There's not
cut
as
you
good as
down where you stand. I swear on my life. I love you, boss, but I will fucking slaughter
I'm
you.
already
in
down.
the
I have the chairs as low as it can go, to be honest. Hold on. Yeah, now the chairs as low as it can go.
The 24th is a glorious regiment.
They are. They are. I'm just saying. they're not as
Thank
good as
you.
me.
Thank you.
They're,
That's
not-
all
they're
I
better
need to
than
hear.
my regiment. They're better than my regiment, but me as a player. Me.
No, yeah, it was Hans alone that carried CSA team tonight.
It is.
Of course.
Every time.
24th is your
Not,
honor
not even this
satisfied?
regiment.
Pearl, is your honor satisfied?
It is. By the way, fun fact: Bus is like a ghost in my Discord because like my Discord is the old 14th Brooklyn, so there is like his shit everywhere throughout our Discord.
Nothing but dust and echoes.
Boss, I lower my saber before you.
Yeah, because I served
do
with
say.
the pixelated Apollo, and now he doesn't like me.
Whoa!
Oh!
The pixelated Apollo? Ayo.
The pixelated Apollo does not like me.
The only thing I know about Pixelated Apollo is that he starts regiments on these games and then he leaves the dumpster fire behind for somebody even worse to run it.
We always said he was the Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah.
Is that
The longest running one to date is still 14th Brooklyn. That was like a solid 6
They
months.
still around?
Oh, were you
There's
around?
a new
to
one.
see-
There's a new
Were
one.
you around to see
There's a new one,
77th Infantry from Holdfast?
They're in the Iron
Oh,
Brigade.
yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty fucking bad.
So our regiment was 14th, then 13th Georgia, and now
Mhm.
24th. So we have.
24th.
So it's
You
Oh.
lads fight hard every time. I cannot compliment you.
You have all my audits and stuff like that. And my-
yeah. Like
Yeah.
you're still one of the like top posters in the.
It's been literally 3 years since I've been in that Discord. Jesus.
How are the numbers on the first game? Did we outnumber them heavily?
It was close at launch. By the end, they had already dropped like 10 dudes, or like.
I thought I could have sworn on the first game we were like even just about.
They were just scared of me.
So I do
Of you,
apologize.
boss.
I do apologize to the Union for
Oh, it's
having
fine.
more numbers.
I would have switched
Yeah,
again. Like
the
I did
numbers
last time.
advantage. Listen, like last weekend, right? We were down, right? And I think it might have been Sunday actually.
Yeah.
It was.
But I've been called out for having called out the numbers in these channels and then not calling it out when we're up ahead. What I will say, gentlemen, we did have the numerical advantage. And you lads fought hard. You fought gloriously. And it was an honor to face against you.
Thanks,
To
Al.
glory, to glory. Yeah, to glory. Huzzah. It was awesome.
Am I in a Ridley Scott movie?
Valhalla. With that being said, is there any other comments before we call it off for a night?
I think.
God save the corn.
God save corn and
Justice for Booch.
Justice for Booch.
Where is that guy? I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's in jail.
He's
He
in
got
jail?
back in
What?
jail? No way.
No, he's
For what?
not really.
No, he's not really in jail.
He's back.
No.
He was in jail
Dude,
before,
literally,
though?
the first time I met Booch and Goondog was in one of these post-game interviews, and Goondog was insulting Booch, saying, "Well, I'm shocked they let him out of prison."
And people like believe it. You don't know. That's funny.
It's easy
I
to
was
believe.
a little.
I mean,
I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. But
listen, I can't wait for someone to say, like, if I ever disappear for like a little while, I can't wait for someone to say that I'm in jail because it's believable. Like, I'll charge out a fucking bastard.
I'd
trying to
probably
rob a
get like
store.
a DUI. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and get one over the summertime.
I won't give that. But like, if I pick a lad up by the throat when he's trying to rob a liquor store, I guarantee you they'll fucking have a problem with that.
Oh, the liquor store. That's a degenerate store, anyways. I'm trying to get a DUI. That's honorable.
It's honorable.
all right.
Depends on what it's on, right? You got a horse or a lawnmower? Or...
The lawnmower.
Horse would
Gentleman
be fine.
Eagle is trying to call
Yes.
it.
I think, with that being said, before things go anywhere else, we should probably call it off for a night. With that being said, all the regiments that participate in the video will be in the description below. House Divided Campaign Discord in the description below. Everyone in this voice chat, if they want a social media link, it'll be in the description. Yes, Butts' SoundCloud will be in the description.
Finally.
Check it out. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe for more. And with that being said, have a good night, everybody.
Glory White!
The strength it took for me not to